mask video. Let's see how this goes. I could take it off, there's nobody here, but wearing a mask isn't a big deal. Well, it can be for some, but I definitely don't mind. So, all right, the pivot, from the pivot to the programming, change version, I don't know, 44. So, right now I actually am extremely happy with where the programming has landed, and I think it just takes a little bit of explanation for you guys to get the most out of it, because it's really all about you as we speak. So, first off, thanks for everyone who's been patient. There's been some, there's been some what the heck moments or calling BS on things, and it's totally warranted. You know, I kind of consider, you know, in the gym here sort of our family, and there's a lot of things that there's no filter, which is perfect, right? We really see everyone's true colors, and in a good way. So when there's mistakes to be made, you know, you're calling me out, and that's great. Or, but having said that, right? You know, it's all part of the process, and here we are. So I don't know how well you're going to see this. But really, what we have planned is really a strength piece, an Olympic weightlifting piece, and a gymnastics skill core program. All of those are going to have X number of days, and we write them out in blocks. So, you know, you can consider a block similar to a week. You know, for example, week 1, there's 4 strength days programmed. Week 1, there's 5 Olympic weightlifting days programmed, and I think there's going to be 4 gymnastics days programmed. The goal is, if you're doing any one of these programs, or all 3, that you never skip a workout. So if I'm on the strength program, you know, in the first block there's 4, second block we have 4, and I've numbered them 1 through 12. If you come here once this week, and you come here, that's the only time you're here, and you show up for a class, bad word, if you show up to the gym to work out on week number 2, or sometime next week, you don't start in the second block, you're at number 2. You go from 1 to 2 to 3. I think that's overall pretty simple. And we're going to continue along those lines if you intersect workouts. So if you're doing the strength piece, and you do number 1 and 2, and then you want to do the gymnastics piece, you go over to number 1. Looks like I'm going to have to put a little pause on here. Oh, no, we're good, we're good. We've got some people who might be coming on the gym. Anywho, hopefully that makes a ton of sense, right? If you want to get here, like, I'll just fast forward. Let's say you took a little bit of time off because you did a bunch of skiing, and you didn't really do any of the Olympic weightlifting, but you've been dabbling in the strength and gymnastics, and 3 weeks from today, and you look at the program as it's 3 weeks along, you don't start a workout number 15 and test your clean and jerk and snatch. No, right? You need to go through sessions 1 through 14 till you get to the number 15. So I'm super excited about this. I've always felt that when we program CrossFit, that is the big challenge. Okay, it's a huge challenge because people are coming and going. Not everyone's here every day. You have to intersect all these programs, so you have to make sure that the strength training that we do isn't overlapping heavily with the workout that day. So lots of things, okay? Lots of things to consider. You know, even if you take into account the Olympic weightlifting program as it coincides with the CrossFit program in our normal, the Ride Fit day not intersecting with the CrossFit day. Now it's not really important when we program. We program the strength day with only strength in mind. We program the weightlifting, again, with tunnel vision, only weightlifting in mind. And then the gymnastics core skills, same idea. Now the $1 million question, and I'm going to get this and I'm going to get this in a variety of different ways from almost everyone. If they don't ask for themselves, they're asking for a friend, or they listen to the answer I've given someone else. And that's going to be, hey, what should I do? Am I doing the strength training, or am I doing the Olympic weightlifting? Am I doing the gymnastics? Oh, I want to do good. I want to do all of them. And the answer is, well, context is really needed to unpeel the layers, so to speak, to make sure it's going to work for you. But if you have strength training goals, you need to do the strength program. If you want to get better at Olympic style weightlifting, you need to do that program. If you're trying to improve your gymnastics, fill in the blank. You're going to need to do that program. How much of each you need to do? I don't know. How many days are you coming? Does it make sense to do the gymnastics once a week? Or once every second week? Yeah, I don't know. You're gonna have to see, you're gonna have to try, you're gonna have to figure it out for yourself slightly. Obviously we'll help you with that. But what I feel is that you guys have goals, and probably a lot of them. Like, when you do CrossFit, what do you want to get better at? Well, everything. This, right? As well as your metabolic conditioning, which is, this program is void of at the moment. But you need to prioritize your goals, and you need to look and see what you are going to motivate you to do whilst you're here, right? Because I have lots of things that need help and need work, but I don't always enjoy that style of training. So if I'm here needing to provide a lot of self-motivation because I don't have 7 other people doing the same thing as me, right? It's not going to do me any good to not be motivated to get after it. So I got to pick something that's going to work. I'm going to want to put the pedal to the metal. I'm going to want to do all the work. I'm going to want to get through the day. And there's nothing preventing you from mixing and matching slightly. So, if you're doing the Olympic weightlifting program, you see it out there, and you sprinkle in some of the gymnastics and core while you're here, perfect. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. In fact, it's encouraged. But if you want one of these things to work really well, which kind of I hope you do, right? You think about, hey, let's hope that this is sort of not a forever, but a somewhat of a temporary scenario, then guess what? Like, make one of these programs and do it. Right? So you really reap the benefits of this sort of limited fitness scope and get good at that limited thing. If you try to put your finger in all these buckets, okay, you might get really good workouts whilst you're here, but you're going to need a long time to get through all this work. If you take too long to get through it all, like, let's say I do gymnastics once a week, right? After 2 months, I've only done 8 of these sessions, roughly, or maybe 9. Do you think I'm really going to see my gymnastics go through the roof? I don't think so. That's an unfair expectation. But if it took me, a month, right, and I finished all 12, hey, guess what? The expectation is that you're a lot better off in the gymnastics perspective, and in the mobility in the core. So I hope that kind of puts a little perspective on how this is meant to work. Hopefully you guys all have access to the Google Doc. Working on the delivery of it. I would suggest copy and paste it into one of your own. Make yourself the owner of it. You might need to kind of go back and have a look at whether there's been changes. But I would record some of the weights you do. Right? Because at the moment, given how we're running all these programs, Zen Planner isn't the most user-friendly app when it comes to like being on a workout. There's lots of scrolling. This would be a lot easier, in my opinion, just seeing it on a spreadsheet. So, 10 minutes is a long enough video. I hope you can hear this with the mask on. I'm getting good at projecting. It's Thursday. It's been a quieter day today, which makes me happy, which means because today is opening day, smile, smile, smile. Hopefully you guys are out there enjoying the snow. Hopefully enjoying the snow is something we get to do for quite some time going forward. And other than that, thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. Hopefully this makes sense. And hopefully you guys are on a track to get better.